Good morning, scholars. Today we are going to be talking about a little bit more about our weather. So, all you have to do is sit down, listen, and have some fun while doing it. Dear kindergartners, this is my last letter to you about seasons and weather. Today we will learn about predicting the weather or guessing what kind of weather is coming soon. Have you ever watched the weatherman or weatherwoman on television? They are people who tell us what the weather is going to be like today, tomorrow, and for the rest of the week. A weatherman predicts or makes his best guess at what the weather is going to be like. Sometimes he is right and sometimes he is wrong. The study of weather and making weather predictions is called meteorology. The person who does this is called a meteorologist. The words weatherman and weatherwoman are sometimes used to describe people we see on television who tell us about the weather. Often, the weatherman or weatherwoman is a meteorologist. So what is happening in this picture? What's the weather like? So just think about, what is the weather like? Look at the things they're doing and what kind of weather do you do that in? Predicting weather is important for many different reasons. It helps people know what to wear that day and if they will need an umbrella because of rain or sunscreen because of the sun. Predicting weather also helps people to plan things like picnics or trips to the beach. If my parents are planning a family picnic, they would want to make sure that it's not going to rain on us while we're outside. Tell your parents about a time when the weather ruined your plans to do something. Farmers listen to the meteorologists to know how much rain to expect. Why do you think knowing how much rain to expect is important for farmers? So just think about that while we listen. If the meteorologist says it is not going to rain for a while, farmers may need to find another way to water their plants. In fact, anyone whose job could be affected by the weather listens carefully to what the meteorologist has to say about the weather. Can you think of other people who need to know what the weather is going to be like to do their job? So just be thinking about some other jobs that might need to know what the weather is going to be like. So we can think of farmers, maybe construction workers, maybe people that work outside like police officers, firemen, firewomen, um, ambulance workers, so they can dress up, they can dress warm if it's like in December and it's cold, or maybe they can dress a little bit lightly if it's sunny outside. Some other people who depend on meteorologists' predictions of the weather include baseball players, construction workers, garbage men, airline pilots, and astronauts. One way meteorologists predict what the weather will be like is in the future is by studying weather patterns and temperature from past. Past weather patterns and temperatures help the meteorologists tell if the temperatures on a particular day are normal for that time of the year or if they are high or lower than usual. He does this by checking the weather record. The weather record is a written report of what the weather was like in the past. The weather record is kind of like a weather diary. It lists what the weather was like on that day in previous or past years. Besides looking at weather patterns, meteorologists use things such as computers and other equipment to predict the weather. One important tool that they can they use to make good weather predictions is a weather satellite. Satellites are machines sent into space that have cameras, radios, and antennas, but no people in space. The satellites travel around the Earth. The satellite cameras take pictures and send them down to meteorologists. Using photos from the satellites up in space, meteorologists can see storms as they develop. Satellite pictures also help meteorologists predict whether the skies will be clear or cloudy. So what do you see in this picture? Of course, you don't always need a meteorologist to tell you what the weather is going to be like, especially if you see dark clouds like these. These dark clouds are types of cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds can turn into thunderstorms. You can also find cumulus clouds during nice weather, when they appear white and puffy like a cotton ball. These clouds are called cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds are thin and wispy clouds that float way up high in the sky. Usually cirrus clouds high up the sky means that the weather is going to be clear and nice. The third type of clouds is called stratus clouds. Stratus clouds float fairly low to the ground. These flat clouds can stretch across the entire sky. They sometimes drop light rain or drizzle. The most important part of a meteorologist's job is to help save lives by warning people when severe weather is on the way. A meteorologist tells people in advance or ahead of time when bad weather is coming. The meteorologist in this picture is studying images of a hurricane, which is a huge storm that comes from the ocean. The image made by a computer, satellites, airplanes, and other tools help the computer tell how fast the wind is moving, how much it is raining, and in which direction the storm is moving. Thanks to the computers and satellites, meteorologists saw the hurricane days before it came close to land. So they warned people to leave their homes and go someplace safe. A lot of people stayed safe from this severe weather because of the meteorologists' warning. Meteorologists help people prepare for and stay safe during bad weather. Even though you can predict or tell ahead of time what the weather should be like during each season where you live, it is difficult to always predict exactly what the weather will really be like each day, every day. So it is a good idea to listen to your weather person or meteorologist. So will you know to carry an umbrella or bring along extra sunscreen? That way you'll always be prepared. Thank you so much for helping me with my weather project. From now on, I hope you'll keep an eye on the sky and always pay attention to the weather in your neighborhood. Your friend, Annie. Alright friends, like I said, that was the last letter from Annie to help us with our weather. So, our video tomorrow will do something a little bit different. Goodbye, friends.